A very good morning, dear students. This is chapter 15, Improvement in Food Resources. And I'm here with part third of the chapter. This is the last part of the chapter. So let me show you what we are going to discuss today in this part. In this part, we'll discuss the main topic animal husbandry. And under this topic, we'll discuss cattle farming, poultry farming, fish production, and then beekeeping. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so I'm starting here with animal husbandry. Actually, animal husbandry is the scientific management of animal livestock, right? Animal husbandry includes various aspects such as feeding, breeding, and disease control. Animal based farming includes cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, and fish farming. As the population increases and as living standard increases, the demand for milk, eggs and meat is also going up. See, population will increase, number of people are increasing, so they need more food. They need more milk to drink. Okay, so livestock production also needs to be improved. If animals a number of animal will increase, then only demand of these food items can be fulfilled, otherwise not. Okay, topic animal husbandry. The first one is cattle farming. Actually, cattle husbandry is done for two main purposes, and that is to get milk and to get work from the animals for agriculture, like tilling, irrigation, and carting. So these are main two purposes for cattle husbandry. Indian cattle belong to two different species, and they are Bos indicus and Bos bubblis. Here, Bos indicus is actually it is the scientific name for the animals that have hump and big ears like cows. And Bos bubblis is the scientific name of buffaloes. It can be referred to the buffaloes. So the animals that are milk producing animals are milk animals, means they are females and they are dairy animals. And the animals that are used for labor, they are known as draught animals. So animal husbandry is done for these two types of animals, milk animals and draught animals. Milk production depends to some extent on the duration of the lactation period. Lactation period meaning the period of milk production after the birth of a calf, that is lactation period. So milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period of the animal. So this is the one way of increasing the milk production. Exotic or foreign breeds, for example Jersey, Brow, Swiss, these are the breeds that are selected for long lactation periods. These breeds of cows, Jersey cows, brown cows, and Swiss cows have long lactation periods and they give more milk. While local breeds like red Sindhi cow, Sahiwal cow, they show excellent resistance to diseases. So both the breeds have their own property, their own speciality. One, the foreign breed has long lactation period, while the local breed has resistance to disease. मतलब वो ज़्यादा बीमार नहीं पड़ते हैं, right? The two can be crossbreed to get animals with both the desired qualities. So that after crossing, that will be the new breed, and that new generation, that new breed will be having both the qualities. Proper cleaning and proper shelter facility for the cows and buffaloes are required for human farming, for the health of the animals, and for the production of clean milk as well. Animals require regular brushing to remove dirt and loose hair. They should be sheltered under well ventilated roofed sheds, and that shed should protect them from rain, heat, and cold. So these are the basic required for animal farming. For livestock improvement, the floor of the cattle shed needs to be sloping so as to stay dry and to facilitate cleaning. Cleaning is the main factor that is required in cattle farming. The food requirement of dairy animals are of two types. Number one, maintenance requirement. Number two, milk producing requirement. Maintenance requirements means that is the food required to support the animal to live a healthy life. And milk producing requirement means the type of the food required during the lactation period by the animal that is giving milk to us. Okay. Animal feeds includes two things, that is roughage and concentrate. Roughage means the part of the food that has fiber, like ghas, bhusa, all these things are under roughage. And concentrates means that are low in fiber. जिसमें fiber कम होता है but that contain high levels of protein and other nutrients. So in animal feed, these two things should be there. Then only animal have proper nutrition. Otherwise not. Cattle need balanced rations containing all the nutrients in proportionate amount. Besides such nutritious food material, certain feed additives containing micronutrients promote the health and milk output of the dairy animals. Uh, as we need some additive in our food, in the same manner, animals also need some feed additives, and in those feed additives in those foods actually they need micronutrients that promote their health and milk output. So these things also should be supplied to the animal for their better health and for their better product. As we have disease, cattle also suffer from disease. The disease beside causing death reduce milk production. If any female animal that is giving milk to us, if that animal has disease, uh, the disease can affect their milk production also, and quantity can be reduced and quality of milk also be affected. A healthy animal feeds regularly and has a normal posture, while the animal that has disease does not eat properly, and sometimes we can see that they are having some pain also. Okay. And the parasites of cattle, they are the reason of the disease, and the parasites of cattle may be of both types, external also and internal also. The external parasites live on skin of the animal and they usually cause skin diseases, while the internal parasites in animals like worms affect the stomach and intestine of the animal, and they live in stomach inside the body. So worms live inside the body in stomach and intestine, while flukes damage the liver of the animal. Infectious disease are also caused by bacteria and viruses in animals. So, just to take care of our animals from the diseases, vaccination should be given to the animals, and this vaccination is useful against many major viral and bacterial diseases. So, you see how much it is important to take care of our animals if we want to use them for labor work in farms, or we want to use them just to get food in the form of milk and meat. Poultry farming. Poultry farming is undertaken to raise domestic fowl for egg production and chicken meat. Therefore, improved poultry breeds are developed and farmed to produce layers for eggs and broilers for meat. Broilers is the chicken that is especially raised to fulfill the requirement of meat. The cross breeding programs between Indian and foreign breeds for variety improvement are focused on to develop new varieties for the desirable traits. Indian breed is a seal, while foreign breed is leghorn. So the crossbreeding of both the breed, Indian and foreign, that gives the better results, and those qualities of mixed, what should I say, crossbreed generation is number and quality of the chicks. Okay, so mixed breeding is better in this way. Dwarf broiler parent for commercial chick production, and summer adaptation capacity is better in that mixed breeding, and even tolerance to high temperature is also found in mixed breeding. And after the generation after the cross breeding that we get, they require low maintenance and reduction in size of egg laying bird, with ability to utilize more fibrous cheaper diets formulated using agricultural byproducts. So in this manner, the mixed breed of this animal, poultry animal, is better. Egg and broiler production. Broiler chickens are fed with vitamin-rich supplementary feed for good growth rate and better feed efficiency. Care is taken to avoid mortality and to maintain feathering and carcass quality. They are produced as broilers and sent to market for meat purposes. For good production of poultry birds, good management practices are important. And what does good management practices mean? Good management practices mean maintenance of temperature and hygienic conditions in housing and poultry feed, as well as prevention and control of diseases and pests. The housing, nutritional, and environmental requirements of broilers are somewhat different from those of egg layers. See, egg layers animals, they need different type of treatment. On the other hand, broilers are the chicken that is raised especially for meat production. Their requirement is different. So both the animals, they are treated differently. As I told you, the food for egg layers animals and for broilers is different. The ration for broilers is protein rich with adequate fat. And in the food of broilers, the level of vitamin A and vitamin K is also kept high. So this way their food requirement is fulfilled. Now, poultry fowl also suffer from a number of diseases, and these diseases can be caused by virus, bacteria, fungi, parasites, and sometimes they can face some nutritional deficiencies also. So, all these things necessitate proper cleaning, sanitation, and spraying of disinfectants at regular intervals. Appropriate vaccination can also prevent the occurrence of infectious diseases and reduce loss of poultry during an outbreak of disease. Now we come to the next point, that is fish production. Fish is a cheap source of animal protein for our food, and many people in our country, they depend on fish for their food. Fish production includes the finned true fish and the shellfish. The finned true fish are mullets, bhetki, while the example of shellfish are prawn and mollusks. There are two ways of obtaining fish. The first one is capture fishing, and the second one is fish farming. Capture fishing means getting fish from natural resources, And fish farming means that is culture fisheries, means fish are cultured. The water source of the fish can be either seawater or fresh water, such as rivers, ponds, tanks. Fishing can thus be done both by capturing and by culturing. Okay, so in marine water or in freshwater ecosystem. At first, we'll discuss marine fisheries. India's marine fisheries resource includes 7,500 kilometers of coastline and the deep seas beyond it. Popular marine fish varieties are pomfret, mackerel, tuna, sardine, and Bombay duck. Marine fish are caught using many kinds of fishing nets from fishing boats. Eels are increased by locating large schools of fish in the open sea using satellites and echo sounders. Some marine fish of high economic values are also found in seawater, and that includes fin fish like mullets, bhetki, and pearl spots. Shellfish such as prawns, mussels, and oysters, as well as seaweed, also. Oysters are also cultivated for the pearls they make. Oysters are cultured to eat also and to get pearls also. As marine fish stocks get further depleted, the demand for more fish can only be met by such cultured fisheries, and that culturing that fish is this is the practice that is called mariculture. Mariculture simply means fish की खेती, fish की खेती करना, fish का agriculture करना. Okay, that is mariculture, right? Now, the next topic is inland fisheries. Inland fisheries means agriculture or culturing the fish in freshwater. And freshwater resources include canals, ponds, reservoir, and rivers. Brackish water resources, brackish water means where seawater and freshwater mix together, such as estuaries and lagoons. They are also very important fish reservoirs. While capture fishing is also done in such inland water bodies, the yield is not that much high. Most fish production from these resources is through aquaculture. Fish culture is sometimes done in combination with a rice crop so that fish are grown in the water in the paddy field. More intensive fish farming can be done in composite fish culture system. Both local and imported fish species are used in such systems. What happens in composite fish culture system? In such system, combination of 5 or 6 fish species is used in a single fish pond. So these species are selected so that they do not compete for the food among them, having different types of food habits. As a result, the food available in all the parts of the pond is used. So in the same pond, some different type of fish are kept, and see, those fish are different type of feeders. Some are surface feeders, some are middle zone feeders, and some stay at bottom. So they do not compete to each other for food. Some fish like catless, they are surface feeders. So whatever food will be there at the surface of the water, they will eat that only. They will not go down deep into the water, and they will not compete for the food for the fish that stay at middle zone. Rohu is the middle zone fish, and mrigal and common carps are the bottom feeders. Okay, so this is composite fish farming, and that is very much beneficial because different type of fish can be cultured at the same pond. Together, these species can use all the food in the pond without competing with each other. So all these fish they stay at different layers in the water and they eat the food whatever is available at their level. They do not go in other zone. Okay, so this type of system increases the fish yield from the pond. One problem with such composite fish culture is that many of these fish breed only during monsoon. Even if fish seed is collected from the wild, it can be mixed with that of other species as well. So, a major problem in fish farming is the lack of availability of good quality seed. To overcome this problem, ways have now been worked out to breed these fish in ponds using hormonal stimulation. This hormonal stimulation is a technique that has ensured the supply of pure fish seed in desired quantities. Beekeeping. Honey is widely used, and therefore, beekeeping for making honey has become an agricultural enterprise. Actually, beekeeping needs low investments. Farmers use it as additional income generative activity. In addition to honey, the beehives are a very good source of wax, and wax is used in various medicinal preparations. So to get wax and honey, the farming of bee is done. And the local varieties of bee used for commercial honey production are Indian bee, they are Dorsetta, the rock bee, and Flore, the little bee. This one. An Italian bee variety, A. mellifera, has also been brought in to increase yield of honey. They produce more honey. The Italian bees have high honey connection capacity. They sting somewhat less. Usually वो काटती नहीं है, but they produce more honey. They stay in a given beehive for long periods and breed very well. For commercial honey production, bee farms of apiaries are established. The place where bees are kept for honey production are known as bee farms or apiaries. The value of quality of honey depends upon the pasturage or the flowers available to bees for nectar and pollen collection. In addition to adequate quantity of pasturage, the kind of flowers available will determine the taste of honey. In picture, you can see the Italian bee. This is the bee that is known to produce maximum amount of honey, means more amount of honey. It stings less. ये काटती कम है और honey ज़्यादा produce करती है. So thank you students. The chapter is over now. I hope you understood and you enjoyed also. Now this is your today's work that do the exercise. Write down the question answer in your fair book. Thank you. Now we'll meet again with a new chapter.